All right, we've got a really chilling story for you today. This is a first-hand account sent in by a subscriber about what his family went through back in Delhi in 1987. It's about a young family, a brand new home, and, well, a presence that really did not want them there.
And look, I'm not just saying that for effect. The person who shared this story was very clear. This is genuinely terrifying stuff. It's a raw account of how things went from just a weird feeling to full-on physical attacks. So yeah, you might want to brace yourselves to this one.
Okay, so let's set the scene. At the center of all this is a young family. We've got Ramesh, who's a pretty practical, no-nonsense guy working for the railways. He's just gotten a transfer to Delhi, and he's moving his whole family there for a shot at a better life. That's his wife and their two little boys, Sarthak, who's 4, and his younger brother, who's only 2.
So Ramesh is out looking for a place, and he finds a room that seems almost perfect. I mean, it had 2 huge things going for it. First, the location in Gandhinagar was just 1 street away from his wife's sister, which is a massive comfort when you're new to a city. And second, the price was unbelievably cheap. But there was this one little red flag. The landlord wanted a 2-month advance payment, which was kind of strange. Still, Ramesh was so focused on the positives that he just paid it, no questions asked.
Now let's talk about the layout of this place, because it's absolutely crucial to the story. Their room was upstairs, all the way at the end of a long corridor. Right next to their room, another room, one that was always locked. Their only bathroom was all the way downstairs, so they always had to leave their little isolated space upstairs. And get this, their window opened up onto a dark, narrow alley behind the house. It just paints this picture of being both alone and pretty vulnerable.
So, even before they moved a single box in, their aunt, the one who lived just a street over, gives them this really blunt, ominous warning. She'd heard things, that no one ever stays in that room for long. But Ramesh, being the practical guy he is, just brushes it off. The rent was low, family was close, it was too good a deal to pass up. He picked logic over the local ghost stories.
And so they move in. For the first couple of days, everything seems fine. A little weird, maybe, but fine. The mother, she was a bit more sensitive to the vibe of a place, and she felt uneasy right from the start. But, she just told herself it was the stress of moving. That feeling, though, it was about to be proven right in the worst way possible.
This timeline just shows you how quickly things went from 0 to 100. The moment Ramesh started his new job and was out of the house, the activity started. Day 5, his wife is home alone with the kids and sees a shadow move past their door towards that locked room. Day 6 is truly disturbing. She finds her 2-year-old son just sitting on the bed, laughing and playing with someone who isn't there. Then by day 7, it makes physical contact, deliberately pulling the blanket right off of her while she was trying to nap.
And can you imagine? She tells Ramesh everything that's been happening, absolutely terrified, and his reaction is just total dismissal. He's tired from his new job, and to him, the logical explanation is that she's just imagining things. This right here is so important. It leaves her feeling completely alone, forced to face whatever's in that house by herself.
So now, the presence wasn't just going to make them feel uneasy anymore. It was about to get violent, in a way that couldn't be ignored. The whole passive-aggressive haunting thing, that was officially over. This moment, this is the turning point. One morning, the mother is making breakfast, her back is to the bed, and suddenly, 4-year-old Sarthak is thrown right onto the floor. The very first thing he does is cry out and accuse her, "Mom, you pushed me." But she was all the way across the room. It's just a horrifying moment. Not only is her kid hurt, but this invisible thing is trying to turn him against her. As she's on the floor, frantically trying to comfort her son, the entity finally makes its intentions crystal clear. A woman's voice whispers this horrifying threat right in her ear. There is no more guesswork here. This is not some harmless spirit. It's hateful, it's malevolent, and it wants them out. She grabs her son and she just runs for it. But as she gets to the stairs, a powerful shove from behind sends them both tumbling down. Sarthak even gets a cut on his head. And when Ramesh comes running to see what happened, he still doesn't believe her. He actually scolds her for being careless. I mean, her reality has become a living nightmare, and the one person who should be her rock refuses to see it.
So what does it take to make a true skeptic believe? Ramesh has had a rational explanation for every single thing so far. But this entity, it has one last warning to give. And this time, it's going to deliver it personally to the man who is now alone in that room for the very first time.
So here's the scene. His wife and the kids are over at the aunt's house for a bit. Ramesh is sitting at that little table by the back window, just quietly writing a letter. And all of a sudden, a knock on the window. His immediate, rational brain kicks in. It's got to be a thief, trying to get in through that dark back alley. So he grabs a stick, bangs it on the window, and yells for them to get lost. After he yells, the knocking stops, but the entire feeling in the room just changes. He feels this sudden, strange heaviness in the air. That chilling sensation that you are absolutely not alone, that someone is standing right there watching you. So he gets up, he walks over to the window, and he pulls back the curtain. What do you think he saw?
He saw an apparition, a girl just floating in the air right outside his second-story window. And the description is pure nightmare fuel. Wide, terrifying eyes, hair partly covering a horrifying face. In that one single moment, Ramesh's entire world, his whole foundation of logic and reason, just completely shatters. Everything his wife had been trying to tell him, it was all real.
And then, as if seeing her wasn't enough, the apparition looks directly into his eyes and delivers the exact same threat his wife had heard whispered in her ear. Get out of here, or I'll kill everyone. There is absolutely no room for doubt anymore. The threat is real, the spirit is real, and his family is in terrible danger.
Ramesh is so shaken up, he doesn't even tell his wife what he saw that night. He can't. But the next morning, the skeptic is gone. In his place is a terrified husband and father who has only one thing on his mind: getting his family out of that house right now.
He goes straight to the landlord and says, "We're leaving." Now, what's really weird is how the landlord reacts. He actually pushes back, even suggests that Ramesh just send his family away for a couple of weeks. But Ramesh is not having any of it. He is so desperate to get them out that he agrees to give up an entire month's rent just to break the lease. And that very same day, they move every last thing they own into the aunt's tiny house.
It was only after they were safely out that they finally heard the whole horrifying story from the neighbors. Turns out, the landlord had a daughter who'd fallen in love with someone her parents didn't approve of. When they refused to let her get married, she took her own life, in that very room upstairs, the same one that was always kept locked. And to make it all so much worse, her parents, out of anger and shame, didn't even perform her last rites properly, essentially trapping her angry, restless spirit in that house. And here is the last, absolutely bone-chilling piece of the puzzle. They learned about another family who had lived there before them. Their young son had been flying a kite on the roof, supposedly fell and later died from his injuries. But right before he died, the boy kept insisting that he hadn't fallen. He said he was pushed. It was the final, terrifying confirmation that this spirit wasn't just trying to scare people. It was violent, and it was capable of murder.
Sarthak's family, they were incredibly lucky. They got out. But it leaves you with this really haunting thought, doesn't it? Every house, every apartment, every building has a history. Most of them are totally normal, but some of them are holding on to secrets of real sorrow and tragedy. It just makes you wonder, if the walls around us could talk, how many of them would tell a story just like this one?